All right. So, sorry guys. Creating a strategic Bitcoin reserve and digital asset stockpile. President Donald J. Trump signed an executive order to establish a strategic Bitcoin reserve and a U.S. digital asset stockpile, positioning the United States as a leader among nations in government digital asset strategy. Now, if you guys are just joining the stream, this is what we're dissecting. Coin Bureau had mentioned this over the weekend. 19 White House officials reportedly own up to 2.35 million in Bitcoin, ETH, XRP, Sol, and ADA. Why is this big? And why do we need to talk about this? Well, reminder, this is not the White House themselves. These are White House officials who bought these assets. Now, I'm sitting here speculating, why did these officials buy these assets? Well, why do I keep getting freaking booted, man? Chill out, brother. All right. Why do these 19 officials buy those assets? Well, I can only speculate after the Orange Man put out this tweet. Okay, a U.S. crypto reserve will elevate this critical industry after years of corrupt attacks by the Biden administration, which is why my executive order on digital assets directed the Presidential Working Group to move forward on a crypto strategic reserve that includes, are you ready? XRP, Solana, and ADA. I'm sure we all remember this tweet back in March or whenever it was, right? Now, again, guys, breaking news over the weekend, Coin Bureau reporting this, 19 officials ended up buying these assets. I'm sure it was because of this, right? But dissecting it and looking into it even further, which is what we do here on the Coin Zone, we always have our detective hats on. We're breaking everything down. This is the whitehouse.gov. All right, this is back in March. Same time period as that tweet. No mention of Solana, of XRP, of ADA. This tweet was the only time specific cryptos were mentioned for this digital asset stockpile. Okay, still to this day, there hasn't been a mention of these. Only that 19 White House officials own the assets, which is good. I mean, 2.35 million is not that much. Spread thin between 19 people. I mean, I'm sure Nancy Pelosi has bigger bets on a single stock than that. We'll see. However, the thing I want to point out is this is going on brand and on par with what Scott Bessent said recently into setting up the Bitcoin reserve. Is, guys, they are going to seize some things. That's how they're going to be building this stockpile. Okay, so get your stuff off exchanges. You don't want the government to seize your assets. Okay, the order creates a strategic reserve that will treat Bitcoin as a reserve asset. The strategic Bitcoin reserve will be capitalized with Bitcoin owned by the Department of Treasury that was forfeited as part of criminal or civil asset forfeiture proceedings. Okay, they're going to be doing this with the digital asset stockpile too. So it also establishes a U.S. digital asset stockpile consisting of digital assets other than Bitcoin owned by the Department of Treasury that was forfeited in criminal or civil asset forfeiture proceedings. All right, so guys, the government will be obtaining these cryptos for the U.S. stockpile, whatever ones they are, by forfeiture. That's what they're doing for Bitcoin too. Just again, we can speculate XRP, Solana, and ADA. Okay, XRP, Solana, and ADA, and then obviously Daddy Bitcoin and ETH. Which, I mean, ETH ceiling is pretty big. 50% plus of stablecoins being built on ETH is huge. The institutional interest on ETH right now is huge. Do not sleep on ETH, guys. Okay, I know there was a narrative going for a little bit there that, you know, is ETH dying? Like, oh my God, ETH is dying. Oh, shoot. No, that's not happening. Maybe in the future. I don't know. But not right now, guys. That's not happening. ETH just hit an all-time high over the weekend. Things are looking sexy. Even Solana is starting to wake up a little bit. But for fun here, guys, let's take a look at the price of ETH since we're talking about it. Okay, up 71% on the year, up 26% on the month, 5% on the week. Look at this beautiful chart right here, guys. This chart is so nice looking. And look at this all-time high. How beautiful. How beautiful. We basically hit 5K. We did hit 5K for a second and a half. ETH is at an all-time high, guys. And if you're in retail right now and you're pooping your pants for some reason, I implore you to relax and zoom out, because this is exactly what bulls predicted. This is exactly what the charts are showing. So again, guys, this is something to keep our eyes on. What's going on here with Bitcoin, ETH, XRP, Solana, Cardano? I mean, if 19 White House officials own these cryptocurrencies, again, I'm sure it's because this tweet here that Donald Trump put out when he directly mentioned them for the digital asset stockpile. I'm hoping that we're going to find out some more news soon, maybe in September, about this digital asset stockpile, and they will directly name the ones that will be inside that asset stockpile, like Trump did here. We got to see, guys. They really have to confirm this. You can't just gas up the XRP, Solana, and ADA community like that and then not even actually stockpile them. That would be pretty crummy. So I have high hopes that they will be moving forward. This is still on the whitehouse.gov, straight from Trump. Okay, they are making this digital asset stockpile. However, this was in March, and we need an update. We need an update on this. So, will be very interesting to see what the update will be if we get these same cryptocurrencies included, if they decide to include anything else. Obviously, we've seen Donald Trump have somewhat of a personal interest in Chainlink, for example. Chainlink is a very big player right now, for working very closely with the White House to set up this new infrastructure. Donald Trump personally has or his companies might have a stake with Tron, I believe. There's a lot going on. So I don't know. Maybe this will switch up a little bit. You never know. What we do know is that the president and his family are very bullish on cryptocurrencies, and they were pushing that direction because they were debanked. So this is something very interesting to keep an eye on. I'm very interested to learn who those 19 officials are. Very, very curious. That's going to be interesting to figure out. But, I mean, shout out to Coin Bureau for letting us know this over the weekend. And again, guys, time back to this. We'll see if these three cryptos, XRP, Solana, and ADA, will be mentioned in the official digital asset stockpile. Shout out to you guys in those communities. If you are in the XRP, Solana, or ADA community, let us know in the comment chat. Appreciate you guys for tapping in. This is the Coin Zone. I'm Crypto with Paul. It's still early in the morning, guys. I'll be back here streaming all day. Appreciate you guys for tapping in. Once you see me go live again, click back and we'll be interacting again. So appreciate you guys. Until then, take